Good evening, one and all, and welcome to two guys in their 50s and 60s talking about the 70s and 80s. Yes, it's the Retro Show. And episode number 15. And tonight's topic will be episode 16? Oh, no, 15.
No,
I saw you go like this, and I go, huh? Got it. So tonight's topic will be sci-fi, and we're gonna avoid Star Trek and Star Wars because there's a whole that'll take a whole show. That'll take a whole show. Yeah, we're probably not, but let's work on the rest.
Yeah.
So let me wait till a few more people loom in here, and then we'll commence to we'll talk about movies, we'll talk about here. I'll just bring one up. Just what comes to mind when I do this?
Javi is having spasms.
No. Let's see if Mitchell can guess. Anybody guess out there from what is this movie? Now, it's not, again, sci-fi and sci-fi fantasy, sci-fi really is a huge, huge realm. It's not just, it's not just the technical. And I'm sure you guys will, let's see if anybody's, nobody's guessed yet. So I'll just go ahead and blurt it out. That was Invasion of the Body Snatchers. If somebody can remember. Remember with Donald Sutherland and stuff.
Is that Keith Sutherland's brother?
Keith Sutherland's father, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know. It might be his brother.
I don't know.
It's a good question. No, not a sea monster. Mitchell. Let's see. How about this? Imagine there's a red dot on my hand going beep beep beep, blinking, red on my hand, on the palm of my hand.
I've been watching.
What are you thinking? Come on! Somebody come up with it. Let me wait for the delay and see if anybody out there can remember. I mean, these are classic movies, but they're 70s classic movies.
70s movies. Well, Stargate wasn't 70s.
70s movie. Nope, not Ultraman, Mitchell. It's okay. When you turn a certain, but that's good though, because that actually did have that in there. When you turn a certain age, you basically this thing blinks, and you have to. Let me see. Was it report to a disintegration chamber? I'm crossing everything with Star Trek, but there
were a lot of shows though that had the disintegration booths, where two worlds were fighting against each other, and that was their solution.
Well, yeah, but this one in particular, it was a solution to overpopulation. But anyways, it was a very famous and
did they have little green cakes?
No, but I'll get to that movie next.
Yeah.
That's the next one I was going to mention. So I mean, these are just the top three off the top of my head that I remember very vividly, and this is Logan's Run.
Oh yeah,
Logan's Run. I mean, that was the whole thing. It was
recently. It was
and okay. How about that one? Little Green Cakes. Let's see if I'll give you a hint, and you'll probably get this from this is let's have a people snack.
Yeah. Don't eat the. It's people.
It's people. Yeah, those were some nice. Those were some interesting shows there. Let's see here. But anyway, so yes, that would be, of course, Soylent Green.
Yes,
and All right, so there were some classic movies. One of my favorites, back then. I mean, it's not a movie I watch over and over and over. Well, it was back then. Is Running Man. Remember Running Man?
Running Man.
The Running Man. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Richard Dawson.
Well, you know, the one that I'm thinking about was the what's it called? It's on the tip of my tongue.
What's it about?
He was a running man, and he was accused by the one-armed man.
Oh, the fugitive.
Fugitive, yes.
The fugitive, yes.
Fugitive.
He was the one-armed man. Yeah. As opposed to the six-fingered man. Inigo Montoya, you killed my father. Prepare to die. I say so. All right. So the Running Man was a fantastic. Was a fantastic. If you guys haven't seen it, it was great. I mean, it was a classic post-apocalyptic world, and basically Arnold Schwarzenegger was a cop, and he didn't follow orders to destroy some people. So they framed him, said that he massacred those people, and they had this wonderful show. I mean, did you see The Running Man?
I don't remember seeing The Running Man.
Right, so Richard Dawson. See, this is in a future where, and let me tell you, a lot of it is it hits a little too close to home. This is in a future where the stations, or rather the station, controls the politics. You know, the politics and media are one.
Gee, that sounds like the last. Never mind.
It does quite a bit. But anyway, so what happens is they have this game called The Running Man, where a person sentenced to death could go out on the game. They have a whole section of destroyed that's been blocked off, a whole section destroyed. And then what they do is they have 4 or 5 people, 4 or 5, chainsaw, like a guy with a chainsaw, a guy with an ice thing. Well, anyway, they have different, I guess you could call them bounty hunters, but they kill the people, whatever, trackers, assassins, and so people root and people, it's a national, it's a global show. And so they release him out into the grid, if you want to call it the grid. They release him out into the section, and he runs. And then if he makes it to the end, kind of like what's that new movie that came out? Hunger Games, things like that, Yeah,
like Hunger Games, yeah.
But if he makes it to the end, then he gets his freedom, supposedly. But they shut the cameras off and they kill the people, So, but the people don't know that, Anyway, great movie. You got to see it. It's fantastic. And as usual, Schwarzenegger has those, those few clips, don't change the channel, I'll be right back, or whatever, Schwarzenegger and stuff. But anyways, it's fantastic. Not Mick Jagger, Mick Fleetwood is in the movie, of all people. And Rosie, forgot her name, thick accent. Anyway, Rosie Garcia, something like that.
Maria Conchita.
Something, I don't know what
Maria Conchita Alonso.
Yeah, that sounds it. Yeah, that's right.
Maria Conchita Alonso. Yes.
Okay, I thought her name was Rosa or something.
Maria Concepcion Alonso Bustillo. Maria Conchita.
Okay.
She's a Cuban-born Venezuelan-American singer, songwriter, former beauty queen, and philanthropist.
interesting. So the show is fantastic. He ends up, winning and tearing down. Well, anyways, you got to watch it. It's a great show, and it's probably the closest thing to if we were to have a post-apocalyptic future, that would probably be the closest one so far to. And this was made back in I think it was early 80's. Yeah, it is Rosie Lopez. That's what I thought. It's Rosie Lopez.
Yeah. Are we still talking about the Running Man?
Yes. I'm sure it was Rosie Lopez. It might not have been. I don't know. Maybe. What do you have the IMDb up?
Well, I have the Running Man cast, and Maria Conchita Alonso Bustillos, better known as Maria Conchita, is a Cuban-born American Venezuelan American actress.
Running Man. But yeah,
is there more?
The Running Man and Maria Conchita Alonso. Holy cow! Yeah, but I thought her name was Rosie.
Rosie O'Donnell?
No, not Rosie O'Donnell. It's Rosie. I guess her name is Maria Alonso, whatever.
Maria Conchita Alonso.
Was Rosie Perez in it? Nope.
I don't think so.
I guess that was her. Oh, wow. Well, to us Cubans, all those Venezuelans look alike.
But she's Cuban-born. She was born in Cuba.
That's the funny part. I've been here 55 years. I've been here too long. Anyway, yeah. So Canadian Maker Project says he loves the Running Man. So really, Al, you got to watch it. So getting back to more sci-fi.
I think I started to, but I never finished it.
You see, watch the whole thing. Watch the whole thing. I'm not going to rehash some of the shows. We'll go to shows now, TV shows. I'm not going to rehash Ghostbusters because I've said that on numerous shows already. It's a 1975 with Forrest Tucker and I've mentioned them before. There was a
drunk, but it's not the drunk.
There was right. Not. No, not the guy that plays the drunk.
Right.
Oh my God! Now I'm drawing.
No, I just threw a monkey wrench in that one, didn't I?
Yeah, not the other guy. It's Forrest Tucker.
Right.
So, The Invisible Man is another one that they did in the 70's.
Yeah.
And then after the Invisible Man series, they tried to do another one called Gemini Man, which is basically the same thing, except this guy had a 15-minute time limit or something. I've mentioned before Arc 2. I love that show. I was really, really into it. I've also mentioned the Jason of Star Command because of Scotty. Remember, I said that James Doohan was in it, and I told you the whole story of how I didn't know it was him after watching a full year of this stuff, a full season, until that same year or the next year. It went from 78 to 81, and in 79 was the Star Trek movie. James Doohan came out with the mustache and gray hair, and I go, oh, it's the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
I did not recognize.
Yeah, you keyed on the mustache, and I had never keyed on the mustache.
How about this? The Man from Atlantis. Remember The Man from Atlantis?
Actually, I do.
Patrick Duffy?
Tell us about it.
Patrick Duffy was a man from Atlantis. He was kind of like an Aquaman kind of thing. He was that was it. He basically I know this is kind of stupid, but hey, here's a 70's retro confession.
Uh-oh.
I actually liked that show so much that I used to try to swim like the Man from Atlantis.
So
until after about a year or two of doing this, I realized I could swim faster if I kicked the legs in opposite positions instead of kind of like a mermaid, both at the same time. Yeah, because he used to do this butterfly thing, and we used to go, this was 77, 78. Now, 77, 78, my parents every summer would go to West Palm Beach, and we would stay for 3 months. We would stay for the summer at one of the nice hotels there, and it was the beach the whole time and the pool. And I'm telling you, I was in the water, practically 24/7, but 12/7 at least. How about Space Academy? Do you remember Space Academy?
For some reason, Spaceballs comes to mind, but I don't know if that's the same thing.
Space Academy. I forgot the girl's name, but she was one of those girls. Let me see. Space Academy. See if you can find the name of the girl. By the way, Jonathan Harris was in this movie also. Sorry, in this series. Jonathan Harris, Dr. Smith from Lost in Space.
Harris was there. And are you talking about Magdal Cooper or Pamela Ferdin?
It was. I think it was Maggie Cooper. Let me double check because Maggie Cooper sounds. Hang on, Maggie Cooper, IMDb, and oh my God, Falcon's Crest. No, is that the same girl? It's like I can't recognize her from this. Hang on a second.
Adrian Price, is that the?
Hang on a second. Let me look up real quick. And this is Space Academy, right? So let's do Space Academy.
Space Academy cast, yes.
Yeah, Space Academy 77.
Yep.
Because there was another one in 2004, and the girl's name was
Pam Ferdin.
Pamela Ferdin. It was Pamela Ferdin.
Yeah, Pamela Ferdin.
I had a crush on her when I was, I don't know. When was she born? She was born in 59. So she's 6 years older than I am. So, older than me. So she must have been somewhere in the 18 years old there, and I was 12, something like that. But
she was too old for you, but she was right for me.
But yeah. Anyway, she was one of those girls like the girl from Escape from Witch Mountain that for some reason I had a crush on that Holly from Marshall, Will, and Holly from Lost in Space. Oh my God.
Will's sister?
No, Marsha, Will, and Holly. Land of the Lost. Had to sing the whole. I had to sing the whole thing in my head. By the way, Land of the Lost, another sci-fi classic. I mean, I mentioned it last week, and I'll mention it again because it bears mentioning. For you guys that the topic, of course, to remind you all today is sci-fi of the 70s and 80s, and Land of the Lost. The coolest thing I've found about Land of the Lost was it was a circular show. It ended by the uncle, Will, and Holly, because okay. So here's what happened. Start from the very beginning. They fall down a raft that goes through a time vortex, and Marshall, that's the dad, Will, the son, and Holly, the daughter, end up in this Land of the Lost with some creatures of all sorts and stuff. A lot of things happened. A lot of really, really cool things with crystals and these pyramids and this alien race that's from the future and from the past, et cetera, et cetera. And after 3 years, Marshall, the father, escapes. But in order for him to escape, somebody had to come in, and it just happened to have been the uncle. I think it was Uncle Mark. I forgot the name of the uncle. The uncle came in to take his place. Obviously, they changed an actor or whatever. But Uncle Jack. Now, Uncle Jack came in, and because he came in, at least according to the show's show's canon, because he came in through the doorway, someone was allowed to leave. You're gonna love this. He's there for a year. They are still trying to get out. All three of them are on the pyramid, and here's how they leave. They leave because Marshall, Will, and Holly go in. So it was kind of a timey-wimey thing. But the bottom line was they got to go home finally because through some Morbius strip or some loop, Marshall, Will, and Holly in the past came in. You know, it was really, really weird. But anyway.
It always is, actually, with science fiction.
It only lasted 4 years. It's a shame, but I really enjoyed it. Other shows like Time Express, I wasn't too big on that one. And anyway, there were quite a number of. Oh, here's one for you. Did you ever see the show called Salvage 1?
No.
Let me refresh your memory.
Please refresh my memory.
A former Mayberry sheriff wearing a helmet in 1979 wants to build a spaceship, go to the moon, salvage on the junk that's up there, bring it back and sell it. Harry Broderick. That is the succinct summary of the plot. That's basically it. Andy Griffith is the lead character, and it didn't last long. But it was funny. Andy Griffith as a salvage guy go to the moon, and it's just
Wikipedia has one of the quotes says, I want to build a ship, go to the moon, salvage all the junk that's up there, bring it back, and sell it. Oh, sorry.
You do more of a Jeff Foxworthy than an Andy Griffin. I'm sorry. It's just, but that's okay. I'll forgive you this time. You know,
he owns Jettison Scrap and Salvage Company.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And let's see what else we got. We got Buck Rogers in the 25th century. Remember? I mean, tell me you've seen that one, or have you seen that one?
I've seen Buck Rogers.
Okay, let me go back to the comments. I've been missing some of them here. All right, hang on. You're not keeping up with your comments here. Hang on a second. Jeff Robinson, Logan's Run was filmed in Fort Worth Water Garden behind the convention center, same place that someone died about 15 years ago for being foolish and sued the city. That's funny. Canadian maker, I saw that one. Love Running Man. And let's see here. Patrick Duffy, yeah. Mitchell, Patrick Duffy will always be Bobby Ewing, which is funny because when I watched Dallas, I had okay, here's our sidetrack for the night. We're going to talk about Dallas.
Sidetracking, is that it?
Well, we'll talk a little bit about Dallas.
As in JR?
Yeah.
No, wait. That's
Bobby Ewing. That's no. Yeah. I'm talking about
that kind of goes to.
We're talking about Man from Atlantis again.
Not Adriano Genie.
No. Man from Atlantis, J.R. Ewing's brother, Bobby Ewing. Now, Bobby, when I first saw him on Dallas, all I could think of is the Man from Atlantis. I could not think of him as anybody. Although he was my favorite character in Dallas because he was a nice, honest guy, as opposed to, JR.
JR, yeah.
But anyway, going back to the list here, let's see here. BJ and the Bear, Dirty Knobs, my favorite, my favorite Martian. Definitely another classic. Another classic.
That one is awesome. That is a classic.
It's pre-70, but I'll allow it. It's a great one. Yeah, let's see. Jeff Robinson had a crush on Shirley Temple and Olivia Newton. I could see Olivia Newton-John. Shirley Temple, I didn't see her when she was older. And I hope you don't mean the young one.
No, I'm sure.
Well, then again, if Jeff was that age at that time, then perfectly fine. I mean,
So let's see. The Beverly Hillbillies from Outer Space.
From Outer Space. That's a good one. I don't know. Oh, that must have been he was talking about He might have been talking about Andy Griffith's show, Salvage.
Maybe he.
Right?
Oh yeah, maybe he was. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Far Out Space Nuts. Yes, Far Out Space Nuts. Dave Hart put a good one in with John Denver. That's another classic. Those. I mean, that was great. I mean,
Did we
that
talk
man.
about that one last time?
What's that?
Didn't you mention that one last time?
No, the one I mentioned was Lost Saucer with Ruth Buzzy and Jim Neighbors. But yeah, Far Out Space Nuts. I might have mentioned it in one of the kids shows. Let's see. I like the frames on. Appreciate it. Let's see. Man from Atlantis, Cat from Outer Space, the Cat from Outer Space. Yeah, those are some really cool shows. Let's see. Obviously, well, let's go to Battlestar Galactica, the original. That was always
as in wait, I don't have my monitor
and
up.
I gotta tell you, who was it? Is it Richard Hatch? I think it was Richard Hatch. Is Richard Hatch the one that's playing on the new one?
You know, I never saw the new one.
You've never seen the new Battlestar Galactica?
No, because to me, the old Battlestar Galactica is the only thing that I know in my universe. Okay, I mean, this is Battlestar Galactica to me right here.
Well, I'll tell you, I hear you, and I'll tell you, being of our generation, I agree with you. It's difficult. It was very difficult for me to get into Battlestar Galactica. And have you seen Stargate Universe?
Not Stargate Universe. I'm just now finishing up Stargate I'm halfway through Stargate SG-1.
Okay, all right.
These things.
Then take your time, watch Atlantis, and then
exactly.
you'll probably watch Stargate Universe. I will give you a warning. Stargate Universe tried to emulate, because of the popularity with the kids, I suppose, anybody under 40, of Battlestar Galactica. Stargate Universe tried to emulate that look, that dark look, and that, I didn't like it at all. And I truly believe that's the reason why Stargate Universe died.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, you got Stargate Atlantis. It took a while to get used to, like any new show does. Yep. It takes me a while to get used to any new Doctor Who. It takes me a while to get used to any new Star Trek series. But after you get accustomed to it, you love it probably stronger than the prior ones most of the time, with Star Trek Enterprise being the outlier, with, unfortunately.
See, I don't disagree with you. I have a different opinion than you. I do like Enterprise. Enterprise seemed to me to be, I don't know, down to earth.
I liked it, but
real.
I liked it, but yeah, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's put it this way.
Let's put it this way.
I'm a Trekkie, and I will. When I was younger, I used to watch the original series over and over and over, to the point that now I can quote any line. That's fine. Then I did the same thing later on with The Next Generation. If it's on TV and I got nothing else to watch, I will watch an episode of The Next Generation. But it's been a while since I've binged watched it. Whereas DS9 and Voyager, there was a time where 3 or 4 or 5 years straight, I went from episode 1 to episode 179 or whatever it was of Deep Space Nine, of Voyager, and right back to 1 again. And I would keep doing that. I'd go DS9, and then I go, okay, wonderful thing, everybody. There's peace in the galaxy. Then I'd go to Voyager. The Caretaker, and then all the way to All Good Things. Rather, not All Good Things, till the Things We Left Behind. Whatever. No, that's DS9. Whatever the last one was called, and then go right back to DS9 again. But
Discovery?
No, Discovery. I've only seen the first year. I haven't caught up. Picard. I liked the first year of Picard. I'm sorry, but I don't like the Kelvin timeline. I really don't. But that's my problem, you know. But
Yes,
anyway,
it is.
yeah. Anyways, here's another one for you. The classics, and I'll mention both of them. The $6 Million Man,
Yes.
and of course, along with that, the Bionic Woman.
Bionic Woman, exactly.
Yeah, Canadian Maker Project, Space 1999. We've mentioned that numerous times here. Martin Landau and Barbara Bain were just that was just a fantastic show. Now, I was 12 years old when that show came out, so I think I was 12. Let me see, it was. Oh, holy cow! No, I was 24. No. No, it was 24 in 99, but it was, or 34, but it came out in the 70s. So yeah, I was about 12 or 15 years old, something like that. So it was that perfect impressionable young time where I'm not driving yet, and I'm watching TV and
TV, yeah.
And let me tell you, Space 1999 for me, that was the time where I used to watch Arc 2, Space 1999, Lost Saucer, all those shows to me were very, very I got into them. I really got into them. Which now, I actually have the entire series of Space, all 2 years, I think, of Space 1999. And I watched a few episodes again, and it was interesting. But, oh my God, I forgot how much I did not enjoy, and God rest his soul, Martin Landau. I suppose he's a fantastic actor, but I'm a big Columbo fan. I've seen all the Columbos over and over and over. And there's one episode where Martin Landau plays a twin, or two twins, plays a twin who have conspired to murder and stuff. His acting there is so ingrained in my head that every time I see him in any other role, I think of him in that Columbo role. I can't get it out of my head. It's like, in my mind, he's been typecast. And so, however, watching years of, and here's another one,
Yes.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible. Yes.
Watching years of Mission Impossible and watching the Space 1999. I mean, it is interesting.
And
But but he's got something about him which I don't particularly. There's something that I don't want to say rubs me the wrong way, but yeah, rubs me the wrong way about Martin Landau. Not in a bad way. It's just a non-fan way. I don't know.
Landau also was opposite of Cary Grant on Alfred Hitchcock's North by Northwest. Now this is 59, so it's a little bit further back, but
by the way, it aired in 1999, 77 through 79, yes. 75 through 77. Sorry, yeah. 75.
And Mission Impossible was 66 to 69, and it seems so much longer for some reason.
Oh yeah. Well, because I mean the shows. Well, first of all, they were an hour long. Well, so were these. But how about Planet of the Apes, the originals?
Oh, fantastic! Planet of the Apes.
Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape!
Yeah, that was Blue Eyes talking.
That line, I gotta tell you, when Pinky from Pinky and the Brain in one of the episodes said, "Get your damn hands off me, damn dirty." Every time somebody says, it's been said in Family Guy, it's been said in The Simpsons, that line is so
classic.
Yeah. Classic.
Yes.
It's one of those things. But yeah, going back to $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman, I mean, I still remember all the kids in. Let's see, when did this come out? That'll give me the approximate time. This was 1973. So 73. We're talking 73. That's third grade through probably sixth grade. Every one of those kids in my class, especially myself, would just constantly and annoyingly run in slow motion. Did you do it when you were younger, when you watched $6 Million Man?
You mean just like I just did? I just really ran real slow.
I didn't see. I didn't have you. Yeah.
$6 Million Man.
Yeah.
I remember jumping off of my dad's car to the ground.
Yeah, I jumped off my roof a few times, but well, you know, there's no accounting for intelligence. But yeah, and the Bionic Woman was you know, I like the $6 Million Man more.
No, I didn't. He wasn't my type.
Now I liked Lindsay Wagner more than what's his face than oh my god, I keep thinking Steve Austin. What's his name? My mind drew a blank. Lee Majors.
Lee Majors, yeah.
Lee Majors, married to Lonnie Anderson. No, that's Burt Reynolds. Lee Majors married to Farrah Fawcett. I gotta get these things all straight. They were all married to each other at one time.
That's right. He was married to Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah, he was married to Farrah Fawcett. Let me see this.
Pinup, and I just say it this way: a pinup babe. Wayne would say she was babylicious. Anyway,
it was that time. It was that time. Everybody had a Farrah Fawcett, you know. But I got to be honest with you, and not to, in all, no, I'll be conceited. I'm not going to be subtle, and I'm not going to be. I'm a freaking genius because I'm not big on blondes, and I say that because I've always liked Linda Carter far better, and Annette Funicello in those times far better than I did Lindsay Wagner or something like that. And as no, I like Lindsay Wagner. Sorry, that's one of the exceptions. More than Farrah Fawcett. And in later years, oh my God, I used to watch those roasts, those comedy specials. And I saw her and I go, oh my God, she looks like trailer trash. I don't know if it was rehab or stuff she's done to herself but it's like there are some people that age gracefully. There are some people that don't age gracefully, but they age, you know. Some people don't age, like Linda Carter, Barbie Bertinelli. They'll just look fantastic their whole lives, you know, and as far as I know, Marie Osmond, those are girls of my youth that were just always of my youth, always attractive. Then there are others, and you see all those 10 people who did not age, you know, or the ones that have the plastic surgery. Oh my God! See, if you age normally, I can appreciate it. There are a lot of women out there that they were hot when they were younger. They've aged. They're normal looking now or fatter, whatever. I can appreciate that. But when you butcher yourself and you give yourself fat lips and streaked eyebrows and you know, and you do something, you pull a Kenny Roger job on you or a Joan Rivers job on you, then all of a sudden, it's like, I truly, truly feel pity, sorry, and I think you look disgusting.
My wife says they look like the Joker because right here,
they do. They do.
Their face always does this right here.
Your wife is 100% correct. Your wife is 100% correct. That's just it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Then you see people like Lindsay Wagner. Now she has aged beautifully. You see her in. I've seen her in. I forgot what show it was, but you know, she's a guest star in some future shows, like for instance, who was it? Wonder Woman was in one of the Flash episodes. She was anyway.
And Wonder Woman, Linda Carter was at the end of Wonder Woman also. Oh, did I give that away?
Yes. No. That's another cool thing. You know, and but I'll tell you, I mean, It's just, don't get me started on those things. Let me see. Yes, Dave, the Bionic Dog 2. I remember that one. Oh, yeah.
Dave says
Galactica, going back to Dave just before. Yeah, I skipped over that, but I've mentioned that in the past. Erin Gray is another one who I don't know how she aged. I haven't seen recent pictures of her, but she was always super hot from Buck Rogers. Yeah. I mean, you said Battlestar Galactica. I guess
actually very nicely. Very nicely.
She's aged very nicely, Rosie.
Yes, very nicely.
Yes, Kate. See, Dave is like Kate Jackson and Jacqueline Smith. Those two, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Anyway. Yep. Linda Carter was on 2.5 Men. That's funny. Yes, she is absolutely incredibly beautiful. Any of you guys watch Kolchak, the Night Stalker?
Yes.
I wasn't into that, but it was. I've seen a couple episodes and stuff.
That was. I was in Chicago during that time period.
Yeah,
and I think that's where it was also filmed, maybe or staged, if nothing else.
Yeah,
and it was always really neat.
Yep, 75, 75. Here's one. Here's one that you guys will all love. Let me play the theme song now. Imagine if this was a piano. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum.
I want to see the Hulk.
That's it.
Yeah.
You nailed it. That was as he walks away after every episode. It's all sad. Yes, the Incredible Hulk with, of course, Bruce Banner and Lou Ferrigno.
It was either that or the courtship of Eddie's father. No, and I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Let me tell you about my best friend. No, that's
right.
Let's see. Of course, we'd go remiss if we didn't mention Doctor Who throughout all those years.
That's right.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite Doctor Who?
My favorite Doctor Who is this guy right here. Okay, and I'll show you this guy. This is my favorite Doctor Who right
what
there.
The
heck? and need I say, he's bigger on the inside than he is on the outside.
I could imagine. Which one of the actors was your favorite?
Number 4, Tom
Baker
comes into
I have to fully agree. Agree.
Yeah, Tom Baker.
Tom Baker's just he is probably he embodies. I was trying to find the word. He embodies the most out of any of the Doctor Who's. He embodies the most of who Doctor Who is.
He really regenerates the body of Doctor Who.
Yeah, there you go. How about we've mentioned it before, Shazam, or better yet, The Secret of Isis? Yeah.
I forget.
Shazam.
Wasn't it like this? Didn't Isis also do this?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was, I don't know. You might be thinking Wonder Woman, but I don't know.
Thinking Wonder Woman. They all kind of mix together sometimes. Especially when you're two old guys reminiscing about the.
How about this one? It's a little before the 70s, but let's see if you can tell who I am.
Are you the robot from Lost in Space?
No, close. Imagine, if you will, now. Strings.
The marionette.
Well,
are we going back to?
We're going back to 64. Thunderbirds are go.
Oh!
You ever watch the Thunderbirds?
No, I was 4 years old then.
Yeah, but I was -1 years old, and I watched them after.
This is a show about the 70s and 80s.
I know, but this is the Thunderbirds. This is a classic. I mean, these were they were marionettes. They were marionettes, is what they were, and it was absolutely fantastic. Now we'll go for a second into the animated show. How about Star Blazers? Were you ever a fan of Star Blazers?
No. Mitchell says Tweaky.
Yeah, Tweaky, weedy. Tweaky from Buck Rogers. Gold, little short guy. Beady. What's up, Buck?
Oh yeah, the little guy. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the little droid. Yes.
Yeah, that carried Theopolis. Sorry,
yes.
Theo on his who was one of the council. Is this digital thing that's one of the? It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Good times. I'm telling you.
I have a sci-fi show that featured a Muppet, at least one, and I want to say two, but for sure one.
You want to say Alf? No.
No. Well, I mean, okay, yeah, that one did too, but had a blue lady.
Oh, classic.
And a white, pale complected lady that kind of looked goth. And yep. I can't. I'm not saying their names because honestly, I can't remember their names. But the blue lady, Virginia Hay, is the name of the blue lady. And I'm not looking at this. This is from the top of my head. I loved that show.
That's fantastic.
That was. Do you know what show that?
You're talking Farscape or Andromeda?
Farscape.
Farscape is fantastic. Farscape is probably. I mean, it is a show that should have never ever got off the air. Yeah. Never got off the air. And Andromeda as well. I really enjoyed Andromeda. I mean,
with Kevin Sorbo.
With Kevin Sorbo.
See, I tried to rewatch it after you had mentioned it, and I remembered the reason I had stopped watching it is because to me it was so boring. Oh my God, it just bored me to tears.
Yeah, but all you got to do is watch Lexa Doig, and then
another one.
Okay.
And I don't remember if they were all that way, but they were usually in jail costumes or scrubs. And there was this ship that looked, man, I don't want to say what it looked like, but it looked pretty funky, okay? And it was a four-letter show called Lex. You remember that one?
Yes.
That one was
LEXX.
Yeah, that was a real weird one, and it had some sexual overtones to it.
And by the way, Dave Hart, yes, I do remember Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons. The
Mysterions, yes.
I think they were the Mysterons, but anyway.
The Mysterons? They weren't the Mrs.
There you go. But yeah, oh my God, that was 2068. The war of nerves between Earth and the Mysterons, a race of Martians who possess partial control over matter. That was an interesting. I didn't watch too much of that, so I mean, it's a shame. But let me see, what else do we have?
I've got one.
Yeah.
And I've got a prop. And I'm sorry for our podcast listeners, but we'll say what it is later. How about this one? Does anybody remember this one here? See that ship?
There you go.
What was the name of the show? And I'll say that the class of ship was the same as the name of the show. What ship or ship class? What ship class was this? And this was actually a short-lived show also. I want to say it was 9 episodes. I could be wrong on that. It might have been a little bit more, but it wasn't much more than that. Maybe it was 14. One season, poof, they're gone. And to this day, people want the brown coats to be back. What's the name of that show? Can you guys think of it out there?
Canadian Mike says Firefly.
He got it. Firefly.
Yep. Firefly it is. Yeah, it's like it's like Firefly and Farscape were two shows that both of the Firefly, Farscape, Babylon 5, those are shows that should have never ever gone off the air. That just shows how stupid and I'll just use the word stupid, plain and simple, because that's what they are. Stupid. The corporate executives were, which is why now everything's going YouTube and they're gonna. I mean, I don't know what's it go. How about X-Files? We didn't mention that.
That's classic.
Yeah, there's another classic
Totally
sci-fi.
That's another one of those shows that I binged watch from the beginning to the end. And then even when I got to the end, there were movies that they had. And then guess what? There was another series that had another 6 episodes, I think, that were just as interesting as back then.
And the X-Files movie. That was funny. Yeah, the truth is out there.
The truth
Let's
is out
see. I'm seeing other ones. Time Slip. I don't remember. I barely remember that one.
How about the one
Phoenix 5, Doomwatch, UFO, The Guardians, Moonbase 3. Oh, we didn't mention we were skipping Star Trek, but Star Trek the animated series, obviously.
Yeah.
The Starlost, the Tomorrow People.
I've got a prop. I got a prop for that one. What's from Star Trek? What is? Wait a second, because the name's on here. What's the name of the shuttle?
Yeah, that's easy. That was easy.
There were how many of them?
7. And, number 7 was, I'll give you a hint, people, begins with a G. I know that because that's the one where, there it is, Galileo. That's the one where Spock landed. That's the one that Spock took to fight the big amoeba monster. It's also the one, if I'm not mistaken, that they had to take off and electrify it off the planet. I forget. Anyway,
they did a lot of things with
Future Cop. Let me see. Let me look for and.
Yeah, Project Blue Book was interesting. It was UFO investigation show, and there really was a Project Blue Book too, which kind of is neat that they had that name.
Do you guys remember? The Omega Man?
Actually, the name sounds real familiar.
Now we've switched to movies for a little bit here for the last 10 minutes. Omega Man. That's with Charlton Heston. And let's see, we got a few others here. Obviously, I mentioned Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah. Obviously, Close Encounters, Alien. All of those. Westworld. I really enjoyed with what's his face, with Yul Brynner. That was just a fantastic show.
Did anybody watch? And this was they did a remake that aired on U.S. cable, AMC in 2009.
Yeah.
But did anybody watch in the late 60s, close enough to the 70s, the British? It was British science fiction called The Prisoner. That was really cool.
I'm drawing a blank. But speaking of British sci-fi, you can't leave out Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy out of this list.
Hey, that's all I gotta say.
With Marvin the Paranoid Android.
Yes,
yes, Mitchell, I do remember V the series. And I was addicted to that series. Yeah. So much so that I wanted to find the whole entire series. Then I started watching it. It wasn't the same as it's one of those shows that I watched it again now, and it's like, boy, I really, really got into it when I was young. It was like a War of the Worlds type. I mean, I would imagine, because I wasn't around for War of the Worlds, the original, but it was like, I imagine it was like people glued to their radios for War of the World. That's how I felt about V. I mean, not that it was real, but it was so engrossing, you know.
I saw it as an equal rights era type of show, which I loved, by the way. It was a great show in my
What's
opinion.
the other one? There was another one where aliens drank milk. What was it? Or couldn't drink milk or something. What was that show? It was a police officer and his buddy was an alien. Oh my God. Somebody remind me out there. It was a series. Where
Was it Alien Nation?
Alien Nation. That's it. Alien Nation. Yeah. It was a guy and his buddy, and I think he drank rotten milk or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
That was it.
I think so, yeah. And I say that without knowing for sure, because that's what led me here.
Mork and Mindy was another, if you want to call it sci-fi. But
Nanu. And notice how I did that, right?
Yes. Not like this, but like this. I did notice. Right. The Andromeda Strain, the Manhattan Project, all those classics.
The Andromeda Strain, and they did a redo on the Andromeda Strain. But for those that don't know the Andromeda Strain, there was a virus, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but what the virus would do is it would take people's blood and powder it. So it would take all the, I guess, the red cells. I don't remember the exactness of it, but you'd have powder, and of course you'd die. You know?
Yeah. You know, it's so funny how, as much as the disco craze happened in the 70s, that's how powerful the space craze happened in the 70s. So much so that even Ian Fleming was susceptible. I mean, Moonraker. If you look at the history of all the James Bond films, there's only one sci-fi type
and that was Moonraker, right?
Moonraker.
Yeah, and that was in the heat of the shuttle movement.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I saw that.
Absolutely.
And by the way, Mitchell, Third Rock from the Sun. It was an awesomely funny. Sitcom. But it was 96 to 2001. So
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Third Rock was that late? Wow. Yeah. That's incredible. Yeah. I enjoyed Third Rock. I really did. You know, it's funny. You mentioned Third Rock, and I never saw it. I heard all the hype, and I never saw it because it was, again, 90s. I was getting married, or rather I met my now wife in 96, 97, around when Third Rock started. So I had other things on my mind. I got married 2002, 2004, when my two girls were born. So again, it wasn't until 2010 or so when I binge watched all the old Third Rocks. I really enjoyed them. They were good.
They were good.
But that's funny. The Man Who Fell to Earth. The Island of Dr. Moreau. Death Race 2000, Slaughterhouse 5, Wizards, never. Why? I haven't seen this one. Maybe I'll watch it. It seems like a B movie. On a post-apocalyptic Earth, a wizard and his fair folk comrades fight an evil wizard. I think I have seen this. Fight an evil wizard who's using technology in his bid for conquest. Bob Holt, Jesse Wells, Richard Romanus, David Proval. None of these actors I know. How about all the Godzilla movies? I mean,
in fact, there was currently a Godzilla versus Kong. Was it that came out? I haven't seen it.
There was currently, yeah, because back in the 70s it was Godzilla versus Hedorah, but there were others. The Black Hole. There's a nice one just at the tail end. But remember Disney's Black Hole?
I'm getting that one confused with one of your favorites, which was Event Horizon, I believe.
Oh God, I hated that movie. Thank God you mentioned it because we put it on the list. But oh my God, if anybody out there ever wants to torment me, yeah, just show me that movie. I've seen it once and I vow never to see it again. It's basically, hey, we're on a spaceship. Let's open the door to hell. Well, what kind of stupid premise is this? Worst movie ever. The second worst movie, and I mentioned it before and I'll say it again, has nothing to do with sci-fi, but Pacific Heights. I'm sorry if you guys, look, and I'll be blunt. If you guys like Pacific Heights, you're stupid.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a way to get viewership.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. Look, I love Michael, what's his name? Multiplicity. The first Batman.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. So I love Michael Keaton. Love him, fantastic actor. But this movie, I think it was Michael Keaton in this movie. Now I'm trying to remember. Or was it Alec Baldwin? Well, whatever. It was, and I'll say why I don't like the movie.
What was it called? Pacific what?
Pacific Heights. All right, let me stop for a second and say that the only thing I did not like about J.J. Abrams' Star Trek, because I'm a fan of all that Star Trek, and I'm a very big fan of J.J. Abrams, but that particular movie, the most annoying thing, and I didn't see it the first time, but Star Trek is a movie that you'll watch over and over. When you see it the first time, you don't notice it. It's a great movie. Wonderful. Once it's pointed out to you, and I'm sorry if I'm going to screw it for you guys, mess it up for you guys, but once it pointed out to you, or somebody pointed it out to me, or pretty much the third time around, I noticed it. Second time, now I just can't enjoy the movie. The cinematography has this way of like shining flashlights in your face and streaking the flashlight and the flashlight and the flash. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're watching a movie and all of a sudden somebody comes in with a flashlight and moves it around and moves it around and moves it around. Watch it again, folks. And this time you'll see what I'm talking about.
I always thought it was the guy in the movie theater walking around, checking people.
This is the most annoyingly cinematographed movie, and that's because of the stupid. Well, anyway, so I was making a point, which is there was a particular method of filming that killed. It certainly didn't kill Star Trek because I still love the movie, but it damaged it significantly. But Pacific Heights, there is no redemption. The cinematic method that they used is basically take the camera and rotate around the person and around the person and around the person and around the person and like this and like this and like this and you are dizzy by the first time he goes around, and then it just doesn't stop. Imagine if I take my camera and just spin you around me and spin you around me and spin you and do that for 2 hours.
Yes. Jeff Robinson, and I'm sorry to interrupt. Jeff Robinson said the one that I've been
Quantum
thinking
Leap.
the whole time.
I had that.
Couldn't remember it.
Oh, you couldn't remember? How could you not remember Quantum Leap? Well, I didn't.
No, I couldn't remember the name of it. It was the same. Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. For those who don't know, Quantum Leap. What's the guy's name? Same as the captain from
Jonathan Archer.
It wasn't Jonathan Archer, but yeah, the same guy. Anyway, him.
Yeah.
He would go from one timeline to another. He would go and he would appear in the next timeline as the person that he was portraying. And sometimes it was his historical themes. Sometimes it was things that he was trying to prevent. Oh man, there was such a twist. It was never boring at all for me anyway.
It was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. Scott
Bakula. Yeah. Scott Bakula. He was also the captain on the show Enterprise.
On Enterprise. Yep. And Dr. Samuel Beckett was That was Dr. Samuel Beckett was the main character, was
Yes.
Scott Bakula. Dean Stockwell I also like. You know, he was, I don't know, I found him I liked him. The invisible guy, whatever his name was, was it Admiral Albert? No. Yeah, Admiral Albert Calavici. He was an admiral, yeah. And then there was Ziggy. Yeah, that was
Laverne and Shirley?
No. Not well, yeah, there was that Ziggy too.
So Javi a little while ago said that this thing, and even though the show was 64 to 68, it was still a little bit fast, but this show that I'm talking about or thinking about used a mini sub that would be something like this. I don't know if anybody remembers that show. I love that show. That show was, to me, the neatest thing in the world. There was even a ride at Disney.
Best show ever.
Where they did this. It was called Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. And they had a ride where you could get into the, I can't remember the name of the ship, but the name of the submarine.
The Nautilus, but you're confusing two different shows, though.
Am I thinking of two different shows?
Yeah, you're thinking of Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is Jules Verne, and that's the Nautilus.
Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea was the Sea View.
The Sea View, yes.
And it was with the flying sub, the flying sub.
With
they called it the flying sub. And Captain, let's see, it was Admiral Nelson, Captain Crane, Sharky. Oh God, what was the lieutenant? Sparky was one of them.
Sparky, yeah. Is it? Because I just agreed with it, whether I knew it.
No. Sparky is one of them. Sparky or Sparks, one of the two. Sparky or Sparks.
The Voyage.
I loved Voyage to the Bottom. That was another one of those shows that I would just, as a 12-year-old, I would watch it over and over and over and over. And in fact, it still plays every now and then, and I still watch them, cheesy as they are. The space battleship Yamato. Yeah, there were some. That was another good one. So yeah, Mars Attacks. Dave Hart, he brought out a. Now that was post 70s, but no, actually we're on 70s and 80s, and that was an 80s show. I got to tell you a story before we sign off of Mars Attacks. I was with a group of friends. There were two movies that I was with the same young adults group, youth group, whatever, young adults group of friends. One of them being Airplane, the original, and another one being Mars Attacks. I have never in my life ever, and this is not an exaggeration, laughed so hard the first time I saw a movie. Never. Than in those two movies. Those two movies were just, let's put it this way. I was laughing so hard I couldn't breathe. I was doubled over in my seat. I kept remembering the joke. I couldn't even look up at the screen, and I missed probably a third of the movie. The first time I saw, for different reasons, because for Airplane, it was just multiple jokes coming in at the same time. It was the sight gag. It was the background. It was what they said, and it was the way they said it. All, it's like, I'll never forget, and that's the kind of, and Airplane, speaking of sci-fi, because that is kind of sci-fi, even though it's comedy, that's one of those shows, and I've mentioned this before, Airplane, either 1 or 2, there was I love this gag, and I didn't get it the first time, the second time, or I must have watched it 10 times. The same thing happened with Top Secret. Those Zucker brothers are incredible. Top Secret, same thing happened. I watched the show 10 times. I'll say a Zucker joke in a second. I'll go ahead and do another segue. But there was this one part where Stryker was flashing back to the mental hospital. And I mentioned this before. And he said, doctor, and he's saying something or other. And he's telling him, the doctor, about how he's feeling. And meanwhile, the doctor, Vern something or other, I forgot the actor's name. He's sitting there on the side. He's looking at a clipboard. And then he goes, now there's a sign on the foot of the bed, and it says, place clipboards here. All right. While Stryker is telling him about it, he goes, I was feeling better and this and that, and now I'm not feeling suicidal, whatever it was he was saying. He goes, I was feeling about this. Is that a good sign, Doc? And he goes, yes, it is. Now, if you listen to just the conversation, you go, okay, I was feeling bad. Now I feel better. Is that a good sign? Yes, it is. But it just so happens that he was putting the clipboard away at the same exact time. And he goes, is that a good sign, Doc? He hangs the clipboard where it says, place clipboards here. He turns around, proudly goes, yes, it is. and that was one of those jokes that I watched it 10 times, and it's so subtle that you didn't get it. Another one was, and they had multiple ways of doing this. These directors, these writers. The other one was Top Secret.
Oh man,
when they were discussing when the Polaris mine was going to go off. Well, the Polaris mine is set to go off on Sunday. And then all of a sudden there's a lot of chatter. Sacre bleu. And all the different people are talking and saying something. In the background, if you listen carefully, one of them says, that's Sempastora. It's a Jewish holiday. Sempastora. And if you didn't know, I'm not Jewish, but I know of Jewish holidays. So first of all, that was funny. And then the French guy, not Chocolate Mousse, Sacre Bleu or whatever his name was, he goes, and this happened in the blink of a second. He goes, Sacre Bleu, that's Sempastora, my favorite holiday. The French guy goes, my favorite holiday. And I'm thinking, this French countryside in the 70s, the show was made in the 70s, about the 50s, placed in Nazi-era Germany with this French revolutionary saying Sempastora is his favorite holiday. I mean, it was just too much information coming in at the same time. But all of it freaking hilarious.
You had to know what it was.
No. One joke after. So anyway, going back to the laughing. Those two, the Mars Attacks. I'm glad he brought it up, because that Mars Attacks, I never got the joy I did from then that I did seeing it the first time. Never, because I will. It's one of those feelings that's so ingrained in my head. I will never forget the first time that I saw the Martians with those big eyes going.
Yep.
I just lost it. I'm laughing at them going, I think I'm going to watch it again. It's been a long time. Maybe I'll.
So just one real quick thing.
And then when they started killing everybody, I mean, it was just so surreal. I just lost it. I thought it was hilarious.
Dave Hart mentioned so many different movie stars, and that's true. Jack Nicholson, Glenn Close, Annette Bening, Pierce Brosnan, Danny DeVito, Martin Short, Sarah Jessica Parker, Michael J. Fox, Rod Steiger, Tom Jones, Lucas Haas, Natalie Portman, Jim Brown, Lisa Marie, Sylvia Sidney, and there's more.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
It was filled. I've got it here, and I haven't seen it in over a decade. And I will definitely, I'm definitely going to watch it again. I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to watch it with my daughter, see if she enjoys it. I hope she enjoys it. She's not going to enjoy it, but it's a funny movie. But anyway, with that, folks, we will let you guys go. Land That Time Forgot. There's a classic, but those are a little old.
Yeah. Can I add one last one?
Absolutely.
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs is a classic.
That was 1987.
That is a classic.
Spaceballs, you owe it to yourself.
Yep.
To go into ludicrous speed to find it.
Ludicrous speed. When is this now? This is happening now. When was it then?
He goes up to a tape recorder. See, it's happening right here.
Right now. When will then be now? Soon. Why can't we go back? We can't go back. Why? Because it just happened now. It's like, oh no. That between Mel Brooks and the Zucker brothers, I think I have enjoyed movies more than those comedy geniuses have probably filled my life with laughter more than any single person that I know of.
Good old cheesy sci-fi with cardboard walls and polyester jumpsuit uniforms. That's the best.
And that is what a show was about. So, folks, I will bid you all adieu till next week, where our topic shall be. Stand by here.
So can I say it? So remember, folks, come back next week to watch two old guys in their 50s and 60s reminisce about the 70s and 80s. And the topic of our show will be
TV shows, prime time TV shows, Chips, Star Trek. Basically any primetime show. In the future, we're probably going to be talking about Mannix and Rockford Files and all those. But for now, it's going to be the shows that, we mentioned Bionic Woman and $6 Billion Man, but they were on primetime. And those are the ones.
In the future sounds like a Michio Kaku comment. In the future, we will be watching.
In the future. So, folks, please join us here again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Live long and prosper.